Are we about to witness the end of an era that nobody saw coming, with LeBron James potentially heading back to where his championship legacy was truly born? The relationship between LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers has reached what insiders are calling a breaking point, and the ramifications could reshape the entire NBA landscape. After years of being the undisputed face of the Lakers franchise, whispers around the league suggest that the King isn't exactly thrilled about being gradually phased out his throne. This isn't just typical mid-season speculation anymore. We're talking about legitimate tension between a legendary player and an organization that's seemingly ready to move into its next chapter. The question isn't whether something will happen. It's when and how dramatic it's going to be. The latest proposal floating around NBA circles is so bold it almost sounds like fantasy basketball. But the more you examine the details, the more sense it starts to make. We're looking at a potential blockbuster that would send both LeBron James and his son Bronny back to Miami, the city where LeBron's championship dreams first became reality. Here's what this earth-shattering deal would look like. The Lakers will receive Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier, and 2 first-round draft picks in exchange for both James' family members. At first glance, it might seem like the Lakers are giving up too much for too little. But when you dig deeper into the implications, this trade represents something much more significant than just swapping players. Let's start with the elephant in the room: LeBron's current situation in Los Angeles. Despite his incredible individual performances and his ability to still dominate games at nearly 40 years old, there's an undeniable shift happening within the Lakers organization. The franchise appears to be subtly transitioning toward building around Anthony Davis and their younger core, which naturally creates friction with a player who's accustomed to being the unquestioned centerpiece of every team he's joined. The defensive concerns surrounding LeBron can no longer be ignored, no matter how much we respect his offensive brilliance. Father Time remains undefeated, and while LeBron's basketball IQ and court vision remain elite, his lateral movement and defensive intensity have clearly declined. This isn't a criticism of his legendary career. It's simply acknowledging the reality that every great player eventually faces. Andrew Wiggins represents everything the Lakers need to complement their existing roster construction. At 30 years old, he's entering what should be his prime years, bringing the athleticism and two-way versatility that modern championship teams require. His numbers from last season: 19 points, 4, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists might not jump off the page, but they represent consistent production from a player who's proven he can perform in high-pressure situations. What makes Wiggins particularly intriguing for the Lakers is his defensive versatility. He can guard multiple positions, switch on screens effectively, and provide the kind of perimeter defense that's become essential in today's three-point-heavy NBA. Remember his performance during Golden State's 2022 championship run? That's the type of two-way impact the Lakers desperately need. Terry Rozier adds another dimension to this potential deal that shouldn't be overlooked. We're talking about a proven scorer and playmaker who can handle significant offensive responsibilities while providing veteran leadership. His ability to create his own shot and knock down crucial three-pointers gives the Lakers the kind of depth they've been lacking in their backcourt rotation. But perhaps the most valuable aspect of this trade isn't the players the Lakers would receive. It's the draft capital. Those 2 first-round picks represent future flexibility and the opportunity to either develop young talent or package them for another significant trade down the line. In a league where draft picks have become increasingly valuable currency, acquiring multiple first-rounders while getting younger and more athletic seems like a strategic masterstroke. From Miami's perspective, this move would be nothing short of spectacular theater. Imagine LeBron James returning to the organization where he won his first 2 championships, where he learned how to be a winner, and where he developed the championship mentality that defined the rest of his career. The Heat culture that Pat Riley built seems tailor-made for LeBron's current stage of career, where veteran leadership and championship experience matter more than individual statistics. The addition of Bronny James creates an entirely different narrative that extends beyond basketball strategy. We'd be witnessing a father-son duo beginning their professional journeys together in the same organization where LeBron's championship legacy was forged. The storytelling opportunities alone would generate unprecedented media attention and fan engagement. For Miami, acquiring LeBron at this stage of his career represents a calculated risk with enormous upside potential. They'd be getting a player who's still capable of elite production when it matters most, combined with the intangible leadership qualities that have helped define championship teams throughout his career. The Heat's development system and organizational culture could potentially extend LeBron's effectiveness while maximizing whatever championship window remains. The Lakers' decision to include Bronny in this trade signals their commitment to a complete philosophical shift. Rather than trying to maintain the James family connection for marketing purposes, they'd be prioritizing basketball fit and long-term strategic planning. It's a cold business decision that prioritizes winning over sentiment. This potential trade also highlights the broader evolution of how NBA franchises approach superstar management. The days of keeping aging legends purely for name recognition are disappearing, replaced by more ruthless efficiency in roster construction. The Lakers would essentially be choosing sustainable competitiveness over short-term nostalgia. The timing of the speculation couldn't be more critical. Are the Lakers about to commit the ultimate betrayal? Or is this the most genius move Rob Pelinka has ever conceived to save our championship future? What's happening, Lakers faithful? Today we're diving into what might be the most explosive trade rumor to hit Los Angeles since Magic Johnson's shocking retirement announcement. We're talking about a potential deal that would send shockwaves through not just the NBA, but the entire sports world. And it involves trading away the man who brought us our most recent championship banner. According to a bold trade concept from Bleacher Report's at 3_Cone, there's a scenario floating around that would send both LeBron James and his son Bronny James to the Miami Heat. Yes, you heard that correctly. We're talking about breaking up the James family duo that captured hearts across the league when they became the first father-son combination to play together in NBA history. But before you start burning your LeBron jerseys, let me break down exactly what this trade would bring back to Los Angeles, because the return package is absolutely fascinating. The proposed deal would send the James family to South Beach in exchange for Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier, and 2 future first-round draft picks. Now, I know what you're thinking. Are we really trading the king for Andrew Wiggins? But stay with me here, because this trade concept reveals some deeper truths about where this franchise might be heading. Let's start with the elephant in the room. The relationship between LeBron and the Lakers organization appears to be hitting some serious turbulence. Multiple reports suggest that LeBron isn't exactly thrilled about potentially being phased out as the face of the franchise, especially with Anthony Davis establishing himself as the team's primary cornerstone moving forward. The whispers around league circles indicate that the king might be feeling some type of way about his evolving role, and that tension could be creating the perfect storm for a dramatic roster shakeup. Think about it from LeBron's perspective for a moment. He came to Los Angeles with championship expectations, delivered that magical 2020 bubble title, but has watched the organization struggle to build sustainable success around him since then. Now, at 40 years old, he's witnessing discussions about the team's future that increasingly center around AD rather than himself. For a player who's been the undisputed alpha on every team he's ever played for, that transition might be tougher to swallow than we initially thought. But here's where this trade proposal gets interesting from the Lakers' standpoint. Andrew Wiggins isn't just some random role player we'd be acquiring. We're talking about a 30-year-old athletic wing who averaged 19 points, 4, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists just last season with Miami. More importantly, Wiggins brings something that LeBron, despite all his greatness, can no longer provide at an elite level: perimeter defense and athletic versatility on the wing. The defensive transformation alone could be game-changing for this Lakers team. While LeBron remains an offensive maestro, his defensive impact has undeniably declined over the past couple of seasons. Father Time remains undefeated, and expecting a 40-year-old LeBron to chase around the league's elite wings and guards for 35 minutes per night just isn't realistic anymore. Wiggins, on the other hand, gives us that two-way impact we've been desperately seeking on the perimeter. Imagine a starting lineup featuring Anthony Davis in the front court alongside a healthy, motivated Andrew Wiggins on the wing. Wiggins has proven he can step up in big moments. Just ask anyone who watched his performance during Golden State's championship run in 2022. He's got the size at 6 feet 7 inches to defend multiple positions, the athleticism to keep up with today's pace and space game, and the shooting ability to space the floor effectively around AD's dominant interior presence. Terry Rozier adds another intriguing dimension to this potential deal. We're talking about a proven veteran guard who brings playoff experience and clutch shot-making ability. Rozier has consistently produced throughout his career, and his 9 points per game average over the past 3 seasons demonstrates his ability to be a reliable secondary scorer in a Lakers uniform. He could provide the type of consistent offensive production from the backcourt that we've been missing during stretches this season. But perhaps the most compelling aspect of this trade proposal is the inclusion of those 2 first-round draft picks. In today's NBA, draft capital is pure gold, and acquiring multiple first-rounders would give Rob Pelinka the ammunition needed to make future moves or develop young talent through the draft. Those picks could become the foundation for additional trades down the line or represent the beginning of a youth movement that extends our competitive window well beyond the next few seasons. The timing of this potential move also makes strategic sense when you consider the broader landscape of the Western Conference. The Lakers are currently fighting for playoff positioning, but does anyone honestly believe this current roster, as constructed, can compete with the likes of Denver, Phoenix, or Boston in a 7-game playoff series? Trading LeBron now, while his value remains high, might represent our best opportunity to retool around Anthony Davis and create a more sustainable path to championship contention. There's also the fascinating Miami connection that can't be ignored. LeBron's 4-year stint with the Heat resulted in 4 consecutive finals appearances and 2 championships. Pat Riley and that organization know exactly how to maximize LeBron's remaining years, and reuniting him with that culture and system could potentially extend his elite-level production. Meanwhile, Bronny would get the opportunity to develop in one of the league's premier player development systems, potentially away from the intense scrutiny that comes with being LeBron's son in Los Angeles. From Miami's perspective, this trade represents a homecoming that could energize their entire organization. LeBron's return to South Beach would instantly make them a legitimate championship contender and bring back memories of those dominant early 2010s teams.